We know that people choose to live in the mid-coast because of these amazing waterways that we have. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect our upper catchments, our rivers, lakes and our estuaries to ensure that this place that they love is protected. And so it's really important that we're all working together. And MidCoast Council has a really long history of working with local land services. We're able to implement bigger and better projects by working together and ensure that there is long-term impacts by having that partnership and making sure that it continues to evolve over the years.
We partner up on grants and implementation of projects and use our networks to connect with different groups and then share the responsibility and the workload around implementing programs and organising events and activities. So it's a really productive relationship, and I think it's increased the amount of engagement that we've been able to achieve because of that partnership.
MidCoast Council has a variety of different projects that they undertake in this space. We have our water sensitive urban design program to ensure that any changes that we're making in our environment have the minimal impact that they can onto our estuaries. We work with new landholders in installing rain gardens to filter stormwater before it runs into our estuaries. And we're also working on installing a couple of new and maintaining our established gross pollutant traps, and they're designed to collect about 95% of the litter and prevent it from getting into our waterways.
Local Land Service is one of the partners in the Key Littered Items Study, and we monitor a whole range of things across New South Wales. We have a look in mangroves every few months and along remote beaches, and that helps the New South Wales government track how it's going with some of its litter prevention measures. We have noticed a difference that there are less of the grey shopping bags now that they've been phased out, and we look at really big positive changes like the container deposit scheme, and we see how many bottles and cans we find washed up on beaches and in our rivers, and we've seen a reduction in the number of containers that we see washed up, so that's really positive.
It's about building that community stewardship and making sure that people are caring for what they love.
We support local groups that feel really passionate about keeping their waterways clean. Groups like Taree are really active in talking to businesses and reaching out to the community. Groups like Tangaroa Blue Foundation and obviously MidCoast Council are a partner in that, and we run a bunch of school-based programs as well.
We ran the project Green Sea Turtle, engaging with all the primary schools, and we had some incredible results in our leadership programs with our young students, coming up with initiatives that they then implemented in their schools. One of the things that I really love is that ripple effect. Getting excited, my passion, and it flowing into the students or our young people, our community, and then seeing results from that is incredible.
Children are absolutely our future. I know that gets said a lot, but by teaching those young kids, they take it back to their parents. And so that's a way for them to communicate with their families and start that communication at home.
Working with local land services and MidCoast Council has allowed us the opportunity to also work with the Aboriginal rangers at Tide. So we've been able to work in some of the sensitive nesting areas and have a really good look at some of the litter items that are collected in that area.
90% of the litter that we pick up is plastic, and it has a big impact because as it ages it breaks up and the smaller pieces are being ingested. So we're trying to minimise the impact that marine debris has towards the endangered shorebirds.
Looking after our waterways is absolutely a partnership, and every single person in this area has a role to play.
I feel quite happy and proud to be involved in a lot of the work around protecting and conserving the land, especially in relation to our future generations.
You know, you can make a difference. It's everybody's responsibility to do something about our own single plastic footprint.
The little behaviours that we can all change in our everyday lives that can help protect our waterways.
If I could say one thing, it's for people to think about what they care about. You know, if they love the coast, they love the waterways, love seeing turtles and whales, and all these animals get impacted by rubbish, and the whole food chain gets impacted by smaller and smaller bits of plastic. We find lots of animals entangled in different kinds of debris. So I think it's really positive that lots of people are recognising this as an issue and making really positive changes in their life, and we just want to encourage that to keep continuing.